Do you know any 100-year-old tennis tips that help?
Yes. All right. Very good. So I was out to lunch with Fred Earl, whose son Fritz coached at UCLA for 37 years. And Fred was one of the all-time great tennis teachers. He was friends with Tom Stowe. So he's 93 years old, and I was out to lunch with him with 7 other pros. So I decided to ask him this question. Fred, what's the best tennis tip you ever gave anybody in your whole life? Right?
And?
Does it make you kind of makes you want to know what he said, right?
Yeah.
So he said, oh, well, it's got to be bounce hit. So when you see the ball bounce, say bounce, and when you hit it, say hit. Well, since then, I've changed hit to toss, because toss is not as tense and willful a word as hit.
Okay.
So, but I digress. Anyway, so I said, oh, well, that's great, Fred. I read about that in the Inner Game of Tennis. So that's a tip from the 70s, right? And he said, no, that comes from the 1920s.
Wow.
Yes. So that is amazing, because what it does is it brings all of your attention to two things that really, to the ball and the place where it will bounce and your contact point. So, So those 3 things are a very large piece of being able to see the ball really well. And then Fred was also a master hypnotist. And so there's also sort of a light hypnosis that you go into when you start to become attuned to the rhythm of a tennis ball, you know, bouncing and hitting your racket. It sort of draws you in, and that's sort of an entryway to the zone.
I love it.